Hello, welcome to those who are joining. Say hello in the chat if you like. and see how my audio and video are doing. Hello, Yankee and Gregory. As usual, we'll give it some minutes for people to join. Hello, Julie. Hello, Metika. Hello, Mudita. Very good. Thank you, Yankee. Hello, Karuna. Were you at the Empty Cloud Katina yesterday? How did that go? Hello, Anna. Hello, Andrew. Good to see you. Grumpy all day. All right. Well, I think we have enough people that maybe we can get started. I was somewhat grumpy yesterday, although that was probably because I was finishing up the retreat. Every time I do a retreat, I get a little exhausted at the end. Still kind of tired from it. Hello, Gretchen. Good to see you. All right. Next Zoom retreat's probably going to be end of November or early December. That'll be the last one for the year. So let's share screen and get this started. All right. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Atu pamaya sabbe sang sattanang sukakamatang pasitva kamato mettang sabbasatte subhavaye sukhi bhaveyang nidukko ahang nichang ahang veya hitta chame sukhi hontu majjata chattaverino imam hi gama katatam hi Satta hontu suki sada tato paranchara jesu chakkavale sujantuno samanta chakkavale su Satta nante supanino sukkino puggala buddha attabhagavata siyong tatta itti pumacheva arya anarya picha devacha nara appayata tatta dasa disaya sutchati ahanga vero homi abhyapajo homi anigo homi sukhi attanang pariharami ahang viyamahyang achariyupajjaya mata pitaro ittasatta majjattika satta veri satta vera hontu abhyapajja hontu aniga hontu Suki attanang pariharantu dukkha munchantu yattaladda sampattitto ma viggachantu kammasaka imasming vihare imasming gochara imasming nagare imasming ratte imasming chakkavale issara jana simatakka devata Sabbe satta, sabbe pana, sabbe bhuta, sabbe puggala, sabbe yatta bhava, pariya panna, sabba ittiyo, sabba poriso, sabba arya, sabba anarya, sabbe deva, sabbe manussa, sabbe amanussa, sabbe vinipatika, avera hontu, abhyapajja hontu, Aniga hontu suki attanang pariharantu dukkha mucchantu yatta ladda sampattitto ma viggachantu kammasakha. English. Having seen that all beings, like oneself, have a desire for happiness, one should methodically develop loving friendliness towards all beings. May I be happy and free from suffering, and always, like myself, may my friends, neutral persons, and the hostile be happy too. May all beings in this village, in this state, in other countries, and in all the world systems be ever happy. May all persons, individuals, beings, creatures in all the world systems be ever happy. So too may all women, men, noble ones, non noble ones, gods, humans, and beings in the lower worlds be happy. May all beings in the 10 directions be happy. May I be free from hatred. May I be free from affliction. May I be free from worry. May I live happily as I am. So also may my teachers, spiritual guides, parents, and friendly, indifferent, and hostile beings be free from hatred. May they be free from affliction. May they be free from worry. May they live happily. May they be released from suffering. May they not be deprived of their fortune justly acquired. All have Kama as their own. May all who are in this temple, in this village, town, country, galaxy, and may all higher beings, devas who are in this place, all beings, all living things, all creatures, all persons, all those who have arrived at a state of individuality, all women, all men, all noble ones, all non-noble ones, all gods, all humans, all non-humans, all those who have fallen into woeful states, be free from hatred. May they be free from worry. May they be free from fear. May they live happily. May they be released from suffering. May they not be deprived of their fortune justly acquired. All have Kama as their own. All right, friends, it is Monday night, so that means it's another Monday night for Dhammapalooza, the festival of Dhamma that the Maggasekha community comes together in doing. And we have just done some chanting. Later, we may do some meditation. What else we do? Well, that's going to be up to you, as Dhammapalooza is, as always, a community guided event. It's not just a come and listen to Bante J talk for 2 hours. This is an event where you have a say in how this goes. This is why every time I, make the event, I only put Dhammapalooza in the date, because I don't know what we're gonna do. Sometimes Dhammapalooza is just all questions. Sometimes there's no questions and it's sutta reading. Each time is different. So, with that being said, the next couple of minutes in the chat, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, if you have any topics you'd like me to discuss, to give a Dhamma talk about, if you have any topics you'd like the community to discuss, it's always good for the community to discuss various topics as well. So if you have any of those, you can put that in the chat. And if you don't, well, there's always a sutta waiting. As a matter of fact, if there's a chance today, we might do some sutta roulette because it's been quite a while since we did sutta roulette. So we'll see. I'll check in the chat and see how it goes. Hello, Jay. Welcome. Let's see what pops up in the chat. So far, it doesn't look like anything. Maybe we will. I'll give it another minute or so. Then, if nothing, we'll jump to chat roulette or chat relay, however you want to say it. Did I say chat roulette? I did, didn't I? Sutta roulette, I should say. All right. Okay. So we are going to read suttas, but many of you maybe have not seen this before. I've done this before, but usually it's done towards the end of the session. I think maybe only once have I done it in the beginning. Oh, I see Karuna has come up with something. Oh. Feeling grumpy and aversive to everybody. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Until you're awakened, that's gonna happen. Even some very big famous monks, right? If you live with them, for a while, you see that they're not like robots. Sometimes they're grumpy, sometimes they're happy. Of course, it's a more balanced muted. It's not as an extreme as someone might be, but you still feel that. Until you're awakened, you still feel that. It is what it is. That's how it is. Hello, Visaka. Welcome. Until you're awakened, you will have grumpy days and weeks. Hopefully not years. At least not if you're a decently advanced meditator like I know you are, Karuna. I don't think you have grumpy years, which is good. Grumpy days, it is what it is. Or grumpy weeks, maybe. All right. So we are going to break out Sutta Roulette. Sharing screen. So this is a very community active activity because what sutta we're going to read is dependent on you. Everybody at Katina is very happy. I actually am never really happy at Katinas and Vasex. Not since I became a monk. I enjoyed them much more as a layperson, to be honest with you. All right. When the as a layperson, when I would visit Bhavana, like a katina, I don't think I went to any of the katinas, but the Vesaks, I really had a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of people and things like that. Then once you become a monk, you're kind of like, you're like, okay, now you have to hang out with the other monks, and it's not the same. It's more fun hanging out with the lay people in these events. At least that's how I feel. Okay, so this is how Sutta Roulette works. We are going to choose a Nikaya, and I am going to choose the Nikaya because we could always adjust. But for now, I think we'll go to the Samyutta. Why not? It's the best one anyway. So we're going to the Samyutta Nikaya. So the community is going to choose a number. We have a number between 1 and 56. Right? These are the different Samyuttas. So 1 and 56. And so how this is going to work is this. Oh, Andrew, you can't cheat. Have to wait for me to call it. So this is how chat roulette works. First, I ask the first number between 1 and 56, and then I ask a number probably be between 1 and 100. And each time, and then I'll say go, and then you type the number in the chat. And each time, whoever comes up first, that's the number we pick. Now, it hasn't happened yet, but if in case somebody has some like crazy internet that they're always first, then I'll skip to the next person because we do want to have different people coming up with the numbers and things like that. So I don't know why I'm blanking out. 56. Why am I blanking out on the number of Samyuttas? I should know that off the top. I have. But for some reason. All right. So, and every time I do the thing, I'm going to do a little block here. Hello, Dharma learner. Welcome. Yeah, I definitely do feel I'm not too energetic tonight, but I'm much better than last week when I was having my allergy issues. I even had them into this weekend during the retreat, but they were pretty much gone by now, which is good. So now I'm going to count down. I'm going to do a number from blah 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 in 3, 2, 1, and then you type a number between 1 and 56 in 3, 2, 1, go. One of the other reasons I like this Sutta roulette is because I can share the screen and it can get you, it can help you to kind of learn how to navigate the suttas. So I think in general, all right, Andrew comes in first with a 7. All right, and good Samyutta Nikaya 7s. Now a number between 1 and 100 in 3, 2, 1, go. Boy, Andrew's fast on the draw. Since Andrew picked the first one, I'll take Karuna because Karuna came in second. So we are going to Anguttara Samyutta Nikaya 7.99. So let's see what our topic is. 7's going to be this first one, Samyutta Nikaya 7. The discourse with Brahmins. All right. 99. Oh, there is no 99. This might be one of those where it's quite short. Maybe we can, let me see here. Yeah, let me see. I think these are all short. When we do short ones. Oh no, never mind. All right, let's see. Did somebody choose a number? Julie chose 11, so that's within this. So we'll do 11 then. With Bharadvaja the farmer, Bhikkhu Sujato. So I have heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying in the land of the Magadhans, in the southern hills near the Brahmin village, Ekanala. Now, at that time, the Brahmin Bharadvaja, the farmer, had harnessed around 500 plows, it being the season for sowing. Then the Buddha robed up in the morning and, taking his bowl and robe, went to where Bharadvaja the farmer was working. Now, at that time, Bharadvaja the farmer was distributing food. Then the Buddha went up to where the distribution was taking place and stood to one side. Bharadvaja the farmer saw him standing for alms and said to him, I plow and sow ascetic. Ah, very famous. I plow and sow ascetic, and then I eat. You too should plow and sow, and then you may eat. This is a very common. So even in modern times, like in modern Western times, one of the I in the 60s and 70s, probably more than today, but I've even seen it today. Um, where people are like, "Oh, monks don't work; they just get, they just given everything. You should work." Right? So Bharadvaja is saying, like, don't mooch off the people. You work, and then you can eat. All right. So, and we tend to think, well, they don't understand the value of monastics, etc., etc. Well, here we have a farmer, hard at work doing the harvest 2,600 years ago, and saying, "Hey, what are you doing, Samana?" All right. I plow and sow, ascetic, then I eat. You should plow and sow, then you may eat. And the Buddha's response: I too plow and sow, Brahmin, then I eat. I don't see Master Gotama with a yoke or a plow or a plowshare or a goad or oxen. Yet he says, I too plow and sow, Brahmin. Then I eat. Then Bharadvaja, the farmer, addressed the Buddha in verse. You claim to be a farmer, but I don't see you farming. Tell me how you're a farmer when asked. How am I to recognize you farming? So the Buddha responds, faith is my seed, fervor is my rain, and wisdom is my yoke and plow. Conscience is my pole, mind my strap, mindfulness my plowshare and goad. Guarded in body and speech, I restrict my intake of food. I use truth as my sight, and gentleness as my release, is my release. Energy is my beast of burden, transporting me to sanctuary from the yoke. It goes without turning back to where there is no sorrow. That's how to do the farming that has the deathless as its fruit. When you finish this farming, you're released from all suffering. And so this is now see, this is one of the things that you'll see in the Samyutta Nikaya and the Anguttara Nikaya is that there will often not be a there will often not be the names of people. So you kind of have to like figure out who's talking and when. Um, and so this is Bharadvaja's response then. Eat, Master Gotama. You are truly a farmer. For Master Gotama does the farming that has the deathless as its fruit. The deathless fruit is the best fruit. Much better than any other kind of fruit. Food enchanted by a spell isn't fit for me to eat. That's not the principle of those who see Brahman. The Buddhas reject things enchanted with spells. Since there is such a principle, Brahman, that's how they live. Serve with other food and drink, the consummate one, the great seer, with defilements ended and remorse stilled. For he is the field for the seeker of merit. When he had spoken, the Brahmin Bharadvaja, the farmer, said to the Buddha, Excellent Master Gotama, from this day forth, may Master Gotama remember me as a lay follower who has gone for refuge for life. All right. Let's do another one. A number between 1 and 56 in 3, 2, 1, go. Did everybody leave? Is everybody asleep? Oh, no. All right. Samyutta Nikaya, number 23 it is. A number between 1 and 80 in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Mudita has 9. So we are doing 23.9. Group of, I'm going to say 23 is probably in here. Ah, yes, got it. 23. And then 23.9, desire and greed, Chandaraga Sutta. At Savatthi, when Venerable Radha was seated to one side, the Buddha said to him, Radha, you should give up desire or give up any desire, greed, relishing, and craving for form. Thus that form will be given up, cut off at the root, made like a palm stump, obliterated and unable to arise in the future. You should give up any desire and greed, relishing and craving for feeling, perception, choices, consciousness. Thus, that consciousness will be given up, cut off at the root, made like a palm stump, obliterated, and unable to arise in the future. All right. Let's do it again. Let's roll. Let's roll the ball, right? Roulette in the roulette table. So a number between 1 and 56 and 3, 2, 1, go. Andrew has 34. All right. Oh, Andrew and Julie picked the same number. Very interesting. Okay. So we're going to do Samyutta Nikaya number 34. Now, a number between 1 and 80 in 3, 2, 1, go. Samyutta Nikaya 34 point 34.65. We'll go with Karuna since Andrew got the first one last time. Andrew must have good internet or is really quick on the draw. One or the other. All right, 34.65. Let's go here. 34 is going to be here. Oh, off by 1. Group of the aggregates. Yep. Linked discourses on jhana. There's no 65, so we'll go to the next one. 5. Julie has 5, so we'll do 5. 34.5. Supports for samadhi. At Savati. Mendicants, there are these 4 meditators. I love me a good 4 types of person suttas. I really do. What 4? One meditator is skilled in samadhi, but not in the supports for samadhi. Oh, let's go back here. Because that didn't work out. That was it. Let me see here. This is the dangers of the Samyutta and the Anguttara. Sometimes you jump in on we have to do the multiple suttas here. So we're gonna probably do. Here we go. At Savatthi mendicants, there are these 4 meditators, but 4. One meditator is skilled in immersion, but not entering it. One meditator is skilled in immersion, but is not skilled in immersion, but is skilled in entering it. One meditator is skilled neither in immersion nor in entering it. One meditator is skilled both in immersion and entering it. These meditators, meditators skilled in immersion and in entering it is the foremost, the best, the chief, the highest, the finest of the 4. All right. So why don't we go to the Anguttara Nikaya now? Switch it up. So let's get started. A number between 1 and 11. In 3, 2, 1, go. Boy, it really seems like. Let me see. Was this the same order that came in last time? Andrew, Karuna. Oh, Julie and Jay keep switching in, but yeah, all right. We'll go with Jay this time. 6. Anguttara Nikaya, Book of Sixes. And it could literally just be that you're the only 4 doing it, so you're always going to be the 4 coming up, which is fine. All right. A number between 1 and 80 in 3, 2, 1, go. We have, well, it shows that we have 13 people on with us. Who knows? You can never trust, for better or worse, what the actual number of people listening is. All right. All right. We'll go with Upasika Mudita, 37. Chapter on Devas. A gift with 6 factors. Very good. All right. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's monastery. Now, at that time, Velukantaki, Nanda's mother, was preparing a religious donation with 6 factors for the mendicant Sangha headed by Sariputta and Moggallana. The Buddha saw her doing this with his clairvoyance that is purified and superhuman, and he addressed the mendicants. This Velukantaki, Nanda's mother, is preparing a religious donation with 6 factors for the mendicant Sangha, headed by Sariputta and Moggallana. And how does a religious donation have 6 factors? 3 factors apply to the donor and 3 to the recipients. What 3 factors apply to the donor? It's when a donor is in a good mood before giving. While giving, they feel confident, and after giving, they're uplifted. These 3 factors apply to the donor. What 3 factors apply to the recipients? It's when the recipients are free from greed, hatred, and delusion, or practicing to be free of them. These 3 factors apply to the recipients. Thus, 3 factors apply to the donor and 3 to the recipients. That's how a religious donation has 6 factors. It's not easy to grasp the merit of such a 6-factor donation by saying that this is the extent of their overflowing merit, overflowing goodness that nurtures happiness and is conducive to heaven, ripening in happiness and leading to heaven, and it leads to what is likable, desirable, agreeable to welfare and to happiness. It's simply reckoned as incalculable, immeasurable, great massive merit. It's like trying to grasp how much water is in the ocean. It's not easy to say how many gallons, how many hundreds of thousands of gallons there are. It's simply reckoned as incalculable, immeasurable, great mass of water. In the same way, it's not easy to grasp the merit of such a 6-factor donation. A good mood before giving. Hear that, Karuna? Try to not be too grumpy if you're giving, Donna. A good mood before giving, confidence while giving, feeling uplifted after giving. This is the perfect sacrifice. And it's okay, we can't always all give perfect sacrifices. Perfect Dana. Free of greed, free of hate, free of delusion, undefiled. This is the field for the perfect sacrifice. The disciplined spiritual practitioners. After rinsing, you give with your own hands. This sacrifice is very fruitful for both yourself and others. Let me see something. I just want to check out the Pali real quick. Oh, wait. Oh. Anyway, we'll keep going. When an intelligent, faithful person sacrifices like this with a mind of letting go, that astute one is reborn in a happy and pleasing world. All right, let's go back. No. We switched to the Anguttara Nikayas. That was, oh boy, what was it? Anguttara Nikaya 6.37. 6.37. All right, so let's roll the roulette wheel once again. See where it'll end up and what we'll be talking about. Oh, collection myth discourse. How did that happen? I'm confused. Oh, that's because that's the wrong. Oops. Never mind. All right. Wrong tab. There we go. Number discourse collection. Yeah, I looked up Cheso too, but it wasn't. I was looking for the word that he was using for sacrifice. Because I don't remember coming across his translation of that. Although I quite like that. There's sacrifice in humans goes back a long, long way. It's a really interesting topic. And how it kind of evolved from sacrificing animals and people, to sacrificing uh, the great fire and all these kind of things. And even to this day, how we sacrifice, um, the Buddha teaches us basically to what? Sacrifice all kinds of unskillful and like hedonistic activities now for the betterment of the future. So it's I actually quite like that word. Maybe it's the anthropologist in me. It's a great invention that humans have created. All right. So let's do it again. Number between 1 and 11 in 3, 2, 1, go. I saw Elaine and Anna got in on this last time, so that was good. Glad to see other people providing numbers. I said between 1 and 11, Kristen. Also, good to see you. Hi. I was like, oh, Kristen's here, so we'll go with her number. And yeah, there's no such thing as the 80th book of the Anguttara Nikaya. Sorry. How about we'll go with the Book of Eights? That's always a good book instead of 80. So, Book of Eights. I've never had this experience before doing this. Like Andrew and Karuna are coming in at the Andrew first, Karuna second. Like the last 4 times it's worked. It's just wild. I've never seen that before. It's pretty interesting. All right. Oh, Krista, you were looking at that. Okay. So Book of Eight. All right. So a number between 1 and 80 in 3, 2, 1, go. Upasika Mudita comes in first with the 29. All right. Lost opportunities. 8 lost opportunities for spiritual practice. Now is the time. Now is the time. So says an unlearned ordinary person. But they don't know whether it's time or not. Mendicants, there are 8 lost opportunities for spiritual practice. What 8? Firstly, a realized one has arisen in the world, perfected, a fully awakened Buddha, accomplished in knowledge and conduct, knower, holy knower of the world, supreme guide for those who wish to train, teacher of gods and humans, awakened, blessed. He teaches the Dhamma leading to peace, extinguishment, awakening, as proclaimed by the Holy One. But a person has been reborn in hell. This is the first lost opportunity for spiritual practice. So there's a Buddha in the human world, and just not in the human world at that time. That's tough luck. Furthermore, a realized one has arisen in the world. But a person has been reborn. Although actually, to go back to the first one, technically Devas heard the Buddha speak too. So yeah, it's probably best if you can't be a human when a Buddha comes around. At least a Deva is a second best. All right. Furthermore, a realized one has risen in the world, but the person is reborn in the animal realm. This is the second lost opportunity. Furthermore, a realized one has arisen in the world, but a person has been reborn in the ghost realm, the Peta. This is the third lost opportunity. Furthermore, a realized one has arisen in the world, but a person has been reborn in one of the long-lived orders of gods. Yeah, long-lived Devas. This is the fourth lost opportunity. Or probably be like Brahmas and some of the higher Deva realms. Furthermore, a realized one has arisen in the world, but a person has been reborn in the borderlands, among uneducated foreigners, where monks, nuns, laymen, and laywomen do not go. This is the fifth lost opportunity. Furthermore, a realized one has arisen in the world, and a person is reborn in a central country, but they have wrong views and distorted perspective. This is literally wrong view. We've seen this before, right? This is the stock phrasing for the various aspects of wrong view seen amongst the wanderers of other sects. There is no meaning in giving sacrifice or offerings. There is no fruit or result of good and bad deeds. There's no afterlife. There's no such thing as mother and father or beings that are reborn spontaneously. And there's no ascetic or Brahmin who is rightly comported and rightly practiced, and who describe the afterlife after realizing it with their own insight. This is the sixth lost opportunity. Furthermore, realize one has arisen in the world, and the person is even in a central country. But they're witless, dull, stupid, and unable to distinguish what is well said and what is poorly said. This is the seventh lost opportunity. Furthermore, a realized one has not arisen in the world. So he doesn't teach the Dhamma leading to peace, extinguishment, awakening, as proclaimed by the Holy One. And a person is reborn in a central country, and they're wise, bright, clever, and able to distinguish what is well said from what is poorly said. So all the conditions are good, but no Buddha. You missed out on that one. This is the eighth lost opportunity. There are these 8 lost opportunities for spiritual practice. Mendicants, there is just one opportunity for spiritual practice. What is that one? It's when a realized one has arisen in the world, perfected, fully awakened Buddha, accomplished in knowledge and conduct, holy knower of the world, supreme guide for those who wish to train, teacher of gods and humans, awakened and blessed. He teaches the Dhamma leading to peace, extinguishment, awakening, as proclaimed by the Holy One. And as a person is reborn in a central country, and they're wise, bright, clever, and able to distinguish what is well said from what is poorly said. This is the one opportunity for spiritual practice. When you've gained the human state and the true teaching has been so well proclaimed, if you don't seize the moment, it'll pass you by. For many wrong times are spoken of which obstruct the path. Only on rare occasions do realized ones arise. If you find yourself in their presence, so hard to find in the world, and if you've gained a human birth and the teaching of the Dhamma, that's enough to make an effort for a person who loves themselves. How is the true teaching to be understood so that the moment doesn't pass you by? For if you miss your moment, you'll grieve when sent to hell. If you fail to achieve certainty regarding the true teaching, you'll regret it for a long time, like a trader who loses a profit. A man shrouded by ignorance of failure in the true teaching will long undergo transmigration through birth and death. Those who've gained the human state, when the true teaching has been so well proclaimed and have completed what the teacher taught, or will do so, or are doing so now, have realized the right time in the world for the supreme spiritual life. You should live guarded, ever mindful, not soaked with defilements. Among those restrained ones who have practiced the path, proclaim the realized one, the clear-eyed one, and taught by the kinsman of the sun. Having cut off all underlying tendencies that follow those drifting in Mara's domain, they're the ones in the world who've truly crossed over, having reached the end of defilements. This is an interesting one, because I can see people sort of having the view that they can't really live the full holy life unless they're born at the time of a Buddha. And I have to look at this a little bit more, but I suspect that this is not necessarily at the time of the Buddha, but during the time that a Buddhist teaching is still around. Because it wouldn't make sense then if the Buddha said, well, you basically lost it unless you are born at the time of a Buddha, which he doesn't do. It's quite interesting. But I can see this being used as like a kind of proof. The people who believe that, especially now that the Dhamma has been so corrupted that nobody can really become awakened. So we might as well just, do good deeds and hope to be reborn at the time of Buddha Maitreya, etc. It's an interesting one there. All right. Hello, Rick. Good to see you. So let's do at least one more chat roulette before we do meditation. So let's go to we're gonna test out the Kudaka Nikaya. Let's see the Udana. The 80 short discourses. All right. So this one's easy. Just one number. A number between 1 and 80 in 3, 2, 1, Go. Whoever's first this time gets it. Even if it's Andrew. I've skipped over him like 3 times now. So back to be fair. Oh, Jay gets in. Jay gets in. See, 64. That is Jay. You must be that New Zealand internet or something. I don't know. All right. Let's go to 64. I don't necessarily know. Okay, so we're in the 40s. '76, '74, '64. Oh, here we go. 62 to 64. Surrendering the life force. So I have heard. At one time, the Buddha was staying near Vesali in the great wood in the hall with the peaked roof. Then the Buddha robed up in the morning and, taking his bowl and robe, entered Vesali for alms. Then, after the meal on his return from Almsfield, he addressed Venerable Ananda. So this is like the section from the Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Ananda, get your sitting cloth. Let's go to the Kapala shrine for the day's meditation. Yes, sir, replied Ananda. Taking his sitting cloth, he followed behind the Buddha. Then the Buddha went up to Chapala's shrine, where he sat on a seat spread out. When he was seated, he said to Venerable Ananda, Ananda, Vesali is lovely. And Udena, Gotamaka, 7 maidens, many sons, Sarandada, and Chapala tree shrines are all lovely. Whoever has developed and cultivated the 4 bases of psychic power, the Iddhipada, made with them a vehicle and a basis, kept them up, consolidated them, and properly implemented them, may, if they wish, live for the proper lifespan or what's left of it. So, okay, this is good. This is a very good. I've seen this recently. This talk about this section, and I do want to. So, what people have traditionally taken this to mean that the Buddha could live for thousands and more years. However, there's another. I'll just read the thing. Normally, kappa as a period of time means eon, but the late canonical texts Katavatu and the Milindapanya argue that this means lifespan, an interpretation followed by the commentaries. Support for this comes from Digha Nikaya 2628.3, which says that long life for a mendicant is the 4 bases of psychic power, which enable the you to remain for the kappa. Here it is surely talking about a full lifespan. Underlying this is the idea that in different epochs, the proper lifespan varies. In the Buddha's day, it was 100 years. We can resolve the problem if we read kappa here, not as a period of time, but as a proper or fitting, i.e., a proper lifespan of 100 years. So in this interpretation, then the Buddha is basically saying that he could live for another 20 years. Whichever way you want to take it. But I found that interesting when I first heard that a while back. You realize one has developed and cultivated the 4 bases of psychic power, made them a vehicle and a basis, kept them up, consolidated them, and properly implemented them. If he wished, the realized one could live for the proper lifespan or what's left of it. But Ananda didn't get it, even though the Buddha dropped such an obvious hint, such a clear sign. He didn't beg the Buddha. And poor Ananda has gotten crap for that ever since. Poor Ananda is given a bit too much dislike for my take, the poor guy. But anyway, sir, may the Blessed One please remain for the eon. May the Holy One please remain for the eon. That would be for the welfare and happiness of the people, out of compassion for the world, for the benefit, welfare, and happiness of gods and humans. For his mind was possessed by Mara. So he didn't say that. That's what he would have said to keep the Buddha around longer. For a second time and for a third time, the Buddha said to Ananda, Ananda Vesali is lovely, and the Udena, Gautamaka, 7 maidens, many sons, Sarandara, and Chapala, tree shrines are all lovely. Whoever has developed and cultivated the 4 bases of psychic power, made them a vehicle and a basis, kept them up and consolidated them, and properly implemented them, may, if they wish, live for the proper lifespan or what's left of it. The realized one has developed and cultivated the 4 bases of psychic power, made them a vehicle and a basis, kept them up and consolidated them, and properly implemented them. If he wished, the realized one could live for the proper lifespan or what's left of it. But Ananda didn't get it, even though the Buddha dropped such an obvious hint, such a clear sign. He didn't beg the Buddha. Then the Buddha said to Venerable Ananda, Go, Ananda, at your convenience. Yes, sir, replied Ananda. He rose from his seat, bowed, and respectfully circled the Buddha, keeping him on his right before sitting at the root of a tree close by. Then, not long after Ananda left, Mara the wicked went up to the Buddha, stood to one side, and said to him, May the Blessed One now get the hell out of here. May the Blessed One now become fully extinguished. May the Holy One now become fully extinguished. Now is the time to get out of here, to go away. Now is the time for the Buddha to become fully extinguished. And this is, now, sir, you once made this statement. So the Mara is reminding the Buddha of when the Buddha first became awakened, and Mara said the same thing. Oh, you became awakened? It's okay. Very tiresome. Just go away. Just you can end your lifespan now. Just go. Why bother sticking around? And so the Buddha said to him, Wicked one, I shall not become fully extinguished until I have monk disciples who are competent, educated, assured, learned, have memorized the teachings, and practiced in line with the teachings. Not until they practice properly, living in line with the teachings, not until they've learned their own tradition and explain, teach, assert, establish, disclose, analyze, and make it clear. Not until they can legitimately and completely refute the doctrines of others that come up and teach with a demonstrable basis. Today you have such monk disciples. May the Blessed One become fully extinguished. So this is the interesting thing. The Buddha makes this statement, and it goes very much against this kind of concept of the lay people. It's not worth teaching the lay people the full practice or to meditate or whatever. This statement here, monk disciples who are competent, educated, assured, learned, have memorized the teachings, practice in line with the teachings, not until they practice properly, living in line, until they've learned their tradition, explain, teach, assert, establish, disclose, analyze, and make clear. Well, that's going to be the same for all the other my mind wants to say 4 foundations of mindfulness, the fourfold assembly. And so who's next? You have such monk disciples. So go away. Sir, you once said this statement: I won't become fully extinguished until I have bhikkhuni disciples who are the same thing. Today you have such bhikkhuni disciples. Now go away. You once said, shall not become fully extinguished until I have laymen disciples who are the same thing, competent, educated, memorize the teachings, etc. Right? The Buddha, the, the, it, the continuation of Buddhism relies on lay people being learned in this as well, not just monks. This is not something that's taught enough, if at all. Today you have such layman disciples. Wicked one, I will not become, you said, wicked one, I shall not become fully extinguished until I have lay women disciples who are competent, educated, assured, learned, etc., etc., etc. So if you're a layman or a laywoman, that doesn't give you any excuses. Today you have such laywomen disciples. May the Blessed One now become fully extinguished. May the Blessed One now get out of here. Go away. Sir, you once made this statement: I shall not become fully extinguished until my spiritual path is successful and prosperous, extensive, popular, widespread, and well proclaimed whenever there are gods and humans. Today, your spiritual path is successful and prosperous, extensive, popular, widespread, well proclaimed wherever there are gods and humans. May the Blessed One now become fully extinguished. May the Holy One now become fully extinguished. Now is the time for the Buddha to become fully extinguished. When this was said, the Buddha said to Mara, relax. This is like the Buddha was like from the 1980s. Relax, man. Relax, wicked one. The final extinguishment of the realized one will be soon. 3 months from now, the realized one will finally be extinguished. So at Chapala tree shrine, the Buddha, mindful and aware, surrendered to life force. When he did so, there was a great earthquake, awe-inspiring and hair-raising, and thunder cracked the sky. Then, understanding this matter or that on that occasion, the Buddha expressed this heartfelt sentiment, comparing the incomparable with the creation of prolonged life. The sage surrendered to life force. Happy inside, serene, he shattered the self-creation like a suit of armor. All right. Well, wow, we did um, Sutta Roulette for a good hour. I think that's a good time to stop and do our meditation. And then after meditation, we'll read some Dhammapada verses and then close out for them. So, thank you for participating. As I've always enjoyed Sutta Roulette, it's very energetic. I like engaging with that. All right, so now let's meditate. Set your body up in whatever comfortable and stable position works for you. We'll do the mindful scanning of the body, starting from the feet, moving up to the head, to bring our mind from the energetic live stream, focusing in on this mind and body. Bring your focus and attention to your feet, focusing in on whatever sensation or feeling is arising in that part of your body. As we do this, moving up the body, when you notice a feeling of discomfort or an imbalance in your posture, adjust your body as needed. Remember, the idea is to adjust your posture as much as you need now so you can minimize movement later on. Move up through the ankles into the calves. Through the knees and into the thighs. What's the feeling of the thighs pressing against the floor, cushion, chair? Move up through to the hips and pelvis. The position of the pelvis is always a very important part of the body to check when observing your posture and setting your posture up. You're ready, move up the spine through the abdomen and the chest. Checking that the spine is not leaning or slouching, nor that you're forcing it very straight. Ideally, the spine should just be resting comfortably. Like the floors of a house resting on the foundation. If you're tending to lean or slouch with the spine, check the position of your pelvis. Move up to the shoulders, checking that they're hanging loosely, not scrunched up and tight. Down through to the elbows and hands, observing how their position also impacts your spine and your upper body posture. And then finally up through to the head, checking that the head is also not leaning or slouching here or there. Chin parallel to the floor. And when you're done setting up your body in a comfortable and stable position, let the body go. Take 3 deep breaths. And then let the breath go. From here on in, try not to manipulate or control the breath in any way. Remember, your body knows how to breathe, doesn't need you to do its job. Your job is to simply follow and investigate the breath as the body breathes in and out. As you're following your breath, Your mind will become bored and run away, or a distraction will arise, like a sound or a smell. Your mind will get enraptured by it or taken away by it. When this happens, remember, as soon as you start to recognize that you've been taken away, fully acknowledge you've been taken away from the breath, come back to full mindfulness and focus. And then practice letting go of the distraction by neither getting attached or getting agitated and trying to push it away. Just try to let it go. Give it no effort, attention, or energy. Let it go on its way and then return to the breath. Whenever you're distracted away, acknowledge, let go, and return. Whenever you're distracted away, acknowledge, let go, and return. Always come back to the breath. It's always there, doing its job, ready for you to come follow it towards a more calm and tranquil mind. Acknowledge, let go, and return. Slowly start to open your eyes, becoming aware of the room around you, your body's position in it. Reflecting on the state of your mind before the meditation and now, and contemplating any experiences that stand out during your practice. While you do that, we'll read some Dhammapada verses. The Fool. Long is the night to the sleepless, long is the league to the wary. Long is worldly existence to fools who know not the sublime truth. Should a seeker not find a companion who is better or equal, let him resolutely pursue a solitary course. There is no fellowship with the fool. The fool worries, thinking, I have sons, I have wealth. Indeed, when he himself is not his own, whence are sons, whence is wealth? The fool who knows his foolishness is wise at least to that extent. But a fool who thinks himself wise is a fool indeed. Though all his life a fool associates with a wise person, he no more comprehends the truth than a spoon tastes the flavor of the soup. Though only for a moment, a discerning person associates with the wise person, quickly he comprehends the truth, just as the tongue tastes the flavor of the soup. Fools of little wit are enemies unto themselves, as they move about doing evil deeds, the fruits of which are bitter. Ill done is that action of doing which one repents later, and the fruit of which weeping reaps with tears. Well done is that action of doing which one repents not later, and the fruit of which reaps with delight and happiness. So long as an evil deed has not ripened, the fool thinks it's as sweet as honey. But when the evil deed ripens, the fool comes to grief. Month after month, the fool may eat his food with the tip of a blade of grass, but he still is not worth a 16th part of those who have comprehended the truth. Truly, an evil deed committed does not immediately bear fruit, like milk that does not turn sour all at once, but smoldering, it follows the fool like fire covered by ashes. To his own ruin, the fool gains knowledge, for it cleaves his head and destroys his innate goodness. The fool seeks undeserved reputation, precedence among monks, authority over monasteries, and honor among householders. Let both laymen and monks think that it was done by me, and every work, great and small, let them follow me. Such is the ambition of a fool. Thus his desire and pride increase. One is the quest for worldly gain, and quite another is the path to Nibbana. Clearly understanding this, let not the monk, the disciple of the Buddha, be carried away by worldly acclaim, but develop detachment instead. All right, friends. I think that's good. let's do our final business and then we will share merits and call it a night. So, friends, if you're joining us for the first time, then you can go to the website, scrolling on the bottom of the screen, if you'd like to find out about more activities that I do. You can go to the website maggasekha.org, MAGGASEKHA.org. This means student of the path. So that's the organization, is the student of the path. This is when those of us who follow the Noble Eightfold Path, that's what we are until we're awakened, until the job is done. So on that website, you can find any time that I post about a new live stream, a new retreat, a new article, whatever it is that I post about my nomad journeys as I go from place to place. So you go to that website and you can click on the top right, put your email in, and every time a new post comes up, you will get an email. Same thing on YouTube. You can click subscribe, click the bell, and every time a new live stream, a new video comes in, you'll get notified. So obviously all of my activities are dependent on me being in a place that I am able to do live streams. But my normal week activities go as thus. So every morning from Monday to Friday, from 8 a.m. to 8:30 New York time, we have morning monastery experience. This is a half-hour session that emulates the session, puja morning session at monasteries. So there's some chanting of precepts, some chanting of suttas, and puja, and a little Dhamma talk, so a little Dhamma learning as well. So it's a good half-hour session to, to start your day with. So you're welcome to join. I'm going to be on in about 11 hours back on the YouTube channel streaming, doing morning monastery experience tomorrow morning. Then Mondays at 7 p.m. New York time, Dhammapalooza, as we're just finishing up here. Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time, we have the Insight Timer session for an hour and a half. That is mostly people, just random people who show up from Insight Timer, but some people from the community who also use Insight Timer join those as well. The retreat I just had this weekend, one of the ladies who joined found it and found me just from going to my Insight Timer streams, which is pretty cool. This first confirmation that people from Insight Timer are leaving Insight Timer to learn to find more stuff of Maggasekha, which I'm quite happy about. And so also we have Sunday nights, 7 p.m. on our Discord Sangha community. We read suttas together. We all take turns, even lay people in monastics. We all read the suttas. We have commentary and discuss and questions and things like that as we're going through the suttas. If this Discord community, the Maggasekha community on the program called Discord, is something that interests you, we are a community that is focused and based on the early Buddhist texts, the suttas, in both study and practice. So if that's something interesting to you, you can send an email to the email listed on the screen, maggasekha@gmail.com. Ask for an invite, and we'll send you an invite to the community. All right, let's share screen to share merits. There we go. Okay. Dukkha patta chane dukkha, bhaya patta chane bhaya, sokha patta chane sokha, hontu sabbe pipaniyo, etavata cha mehi sampatang punya sampatang, sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti sittiya, Akasata Jabumata Deva Naga Mahidika Punyang Tang Anumoditva Charang Rakantu Sasanang. May the suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we've acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas, nagas, and yakas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddhist dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. All right, friends, so we have come to the end of another Dhammapalooza. Suki Hotu, may you be well and at ease. Practice well and be well. May you have a spiritually successful and peaceful practice until we meet again, which, if I'm alive, could be tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for Morning Monastery Experience, Saturday for the Insight Timer session, or maybe Monday for another Dhammapalooza. Have a good week.